This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 78%, Marina Mariette van der Merwe. Congratulations, Marina. You may be seated. I now call upon Ms. Theron to award the In-Service Certificate in Trauma and Emergency Nursing for Registered Nurses Academic Award for the Netcare Education KwaZulu-Natal campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare Albalito Hospital please join Mrs. Theron to present the award? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 88.5%, Bronwyn Govender. Would management please accept the award on behalf of Bronwyn? Thank you, Mrs. Theron and management. You may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Crawford to award the In-Service Certificate in Trauma and Emergency Nursing for Registered Nurses Academic Award for the Netcare Education Western Cape campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare Blauberg Hospital please join Mrs. Crawford to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 79.7%. Lindelwa Brenda Nkokozeli. Congratulations, Lindelwa and management. You may be seated. We will now award the In-Service Certificate in Operating Room Skills for Registered Nurses Academic Awards. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Eastern Cape, Gauteng Southwest, KwaZulu-Natal, and Western Cape campuses, bestowed upon the students who showed qualities of excellence and maintained the highest academic standard in the In-Service Certificate in Operating Room Skills for Registered Nurses, the highest overall average for the clinical and theoretical components for the formative and summative assessments in the In-Service Certificate in Operating Room Skills for Registered Nurses. A minimum mark of 75% is required. Eligible award winners are those who have not failed any, not even one, theoretical, formative, or summative assessments. I now call upon Mrs. Diaga to award the In-Service Certificate in Operating Room Skills for Registered Nurses Academic Award for the Netcare Education Eastern Cape campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare Green Acres Hospital please join Mrs. Diaga to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 91.5%. Marilee Brits. Congratulations, Marilee and management. You may be seated. I now call upon Ms. Menino to award the in-service certificate in operating room skills for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Krugersdorp Hospital please join Ms. Menino to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 84%. Annelien Christina Potgieter. Congratulations, Annelien. Management and Ms. Menino, you may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Theron to award the in-service certificate in operating room skills for registered nurses academic award from the Netcare Education KwaZulu-Natal campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Kingsway Hospital please join Mrs. Theron to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 85.8%, Kumeshri Naidu. Congratulations, Kumeshri, management, and Mrs. Theron. You may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Crawford to award the in-service certificate in operating room skills for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education Western Cape campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of UCT Private Academic Hospital please join Mrs. Crawford on stage to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 82.8%, Rushana Fakir. Congratulations, Rishana, management, and Mrs. Crawford. You may be seated. We will now award the in-service certificate in neonatal intensive care nursing for registered nurses academic award. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Eastern Cape, Gauteng Northeast, Gauteng Southwest, and KwaZulu-Natal campuses, bestowed upon the student who showed qualities of excellence and maintained the highest academic standard in the in-service certificate in neonatal intensive care nursing for registered nurses, the highest overall average for the clinical and theoretical components for formative and summative assessments in the in-service certificate in neonatal intensive care nursing for registered nurses. A minimum mark of 75% is required. Eligible award winners are those who have not failed any, not even one, clinical or theoretical, formative or summative assessment. I now call upon Mrs. Diache to award the in-service certificate in neonatal intensive care nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Eastern Cape campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Green Acres Hospital please join Mrs. Diache to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 85%. Kayla Bessinger. Congratulations, Kayla and management. You may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Renee Schaefer, Campus Manager, Netcare Education, Gauteng Northeast, to award the in-service certificate in neonatal intensive care nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education, Gauteng Northeast Campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of Netcare Waterfall City Hospital please join Mrs. Schaefer to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 85%. Shubhashni Govinda. Please will management accept the award? Thank you, Mrs. Schaefer and management. I now call upon Ms. Menino to award the in-service certificate in neonatal intensive care nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Gauteng Southwest Campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Sunning Hill Hospital please join Ms. Menino to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 83%. Pilisande Fazile Nkele. Congratulations, Pilisande management and Ms. Merino. I now call upon Mrs. Theron to award the in-service certificate in neonatal intensive care nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education KwaZulu-Natal campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Parklands Hospital please join Ms. Theron to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 83.5%. Renalda Chandre Glover. Congratulations, Renalda, management, and Mrs. Theron. I now call upon Ms. Menino to award the in-service certificate in maternity nursing for registered nurses academic award. This award is awarded to a graduate from the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest campus, bestowed upon the student who showed qualities of excellence and maintained the highest academic standard in the in-service certificate in maternity nursing for registered nurses, the highest overall average for the clinical and theoretical components for the formative and summative assessments in the in-service certificate in maternity nursing. A minimum mark of 75% is required. Eligible award winners are those who have not failed any, not even one, clinical or theoretical, formative or summative assessment. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Pinehaven Hospital join us? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 87%. Wandile Prudence Mtini. Congratulations, Wandile, management, and Ms. Menino. You may be seated. We will now award the in-service certificate in anesthetic and recovery room nursing for registered nurses academic awards. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Eastern Cape Campus, Gauteng Southwest, KwaZulu-Natal, and Western Cape Campus, bestowed upon the student who showed qualities of excellence and maintained the highest academic standard in the in-service certificate in anesthetic and recovery room nursing for registered nurses, the highest overall average for the clinical and theoretical components for the formative and summative assessments in the in-service certificate in anesthetic and recovery room nursing for registered nurses. A minimum mark of 75% is required. Eligible award winners are those who have not failed any, not even one theoretical, formative, or summative assessment. I now call upon Mrs. Diache to award the in-service certificate in anesthetic and recovery room nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education Eastern Cape Campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare Kyla Hospital please join Mrs. Diache to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 91.5%. Rihanna Els. Congratulations, Rihanna and management. I now call upon Ms. Cindy Menino, Campus Manager of the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest Campus, to award the in-service certificate in anesthetic and recovery room nursing for registered nurses for the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest Campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management, once again, from the Netcare Krugersdorp Hospital, please join Ms. Menino to present the prize. This award goes to not one, but two graduates from the Netcare Krugersdorp Hospital, both achieving an overall result of 79%. Belinda Mortimer and Anneline Christina Potgieter. Congratulations, Belinda and Anneline. I now call upon Mrs. Theron to award the in-service certificate in anesthetic and recovery room nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education KwaZulu-Natal campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of the Netcare Albalito Hospital once again please join Ms. Theron to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 85.3%. Lalita Govender. Congratulations, Lalita, management, and Mrs. Theron. You may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Crawford to present the in-service certificate in anesthetic and recovery room nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education Western Cape campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Christian Barnard Hospital once again please join us on stage with Mrs. Crawford to present the prize. This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 85.7%. Sumeshini Reddy. Congratulations, Sumeshini and management. You may be seated. We will now award the in-service certificate in infection prevention and control nursing for registered nurses academic awards. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Eastern Cape, Gauteng Southwest, and KwaZulu-Natal campuses, bestowed upon the student who showed qualities of excellence and maintained the highest academic standard in the in-service certificate in infection prevention for registered nurses, the highest overall average for the clinical and theoretical components for the formative and summative assessments in the in-service certificate in infection prevention nursing for registered nurses. A minimum mark of 75% is required. Eligible award winners, those who have not failed any, not even one clinical or theoretical, formative or summative assessment. I now call upon Mrs. Diache to award the in-service certificate in infection prevention control nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education Eastern Cape campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Green Acres Hospital please join us on stage? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 84.5%. Paige Armstrong? Will management please accept the award on behalf of Paige? I now call upon Ms. Menino to award the in-service certificate in infection prevention and control nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest campus. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Olivedale Hospital please join Ms. Menino to present the award? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 92%. Nicole Govender. Well done. Congratulations, Nicole and management. You may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Theron to award the in-service certificate in infection prevention and control nursing for registered nurses academic award for the Netcare Education KwaZulu-Natal campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare St. Augustine's Hospital please join Mr. Ron to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 80.3%, Sharon Amanda Fox. Congratulations, Sharon, management, and Mr. Ron. I now call upon Mrs. Crawford to award the in-service certificate in cardiovascular intervention nursing for registered nurses academic award. This award is awarded to a graduate from the Netcare Education Western Cape campus, bestowed upon the student who showed qualities of excellence and maintained the highest academic standard in the in-service certificate in cardiovascular intervention nursing for registered nurses, the highest overall average for the clinical and theoretical components for the formative and summative assessments in the in-service certificate in cardiovascular intervention nursing for registered nurses. A minimum mark of 75% is required. Eligible award winners are those who have not failed any, not even one, theoretical, formative, or summative assessment. Could a member from the Netcare Blaauberg Hospital, please join us on stage to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 86.8%, Zenzo Mtutuzili Nkandla. Congratulations, Zenzo, management, and Mrs. Crawford. We will now award the in-service certificate for Central Sterile Services Department Technicians Academic Awards. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Campus, Gauteng Southwest, and KwaZulu-Natal. Bestowed upon the student who showed qualities of excellence and maintained the highest academic standard in the in-service certificate for Central Sterile Services Department Technicians. The highest overall average for the components for the formative and summative assessments in the in-service certificate for Central Sterile Services Department Technicians. A minimum mark of 75% is required. Eligible award winners are those who have not failed any, not even one, clinical or theoretical, formative or summative assessment. I now call upon Mrs. Diacha to award the in-service certificate for Central Sterile Services Department Technicians Academic Award for Netcare Education, Eastern Cape Campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare Kaila Hospital please join Mrs. Diacha to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 81%, Melissa Jenely Munich. Congratulations, Melissa, management, and Mrs. Diacha. I now call upon Ms. Menino to award the in-service certificate for Central Sterile Services Department Technicians Academic Award for Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest Campus. Could a member, one more time, from the Netcare Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare, Krugersdorp Hospital, please join Ms. Menino to present the prize. This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 97%. Gladys Bezaidenhout. Congratulations, Gladys. I now call upon Mrs. Theron to award the in-service certificate for Central Sterile Services Department Technicians Academic Award for the Netcare Education KwaZulu-Natal campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of the Netcare Umhlanga Hospital please join Mrs. Theron to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 90%, Michelle Sheridan Singh. Oh, nice marks. Congratulations, Michelle, Management, and Mrs. Theron. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now award the National Management Development Program Awards, awarded to students, a syndicate group, which obtained the highest overall results nationally at a minimum of 75% and were able to demonstrate their ability to design and create an action learning project and showed evidence of excellent application of their project in their work environment. In doing so, this group exhibited their capacity to develop their management skills and become valuable strategic business partners. I now call upon Mr. Sanjay Kusal, Head People Development and Employment Equity, to award the National Management Development Program Award. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of the Netcare Kyla Hospital once again please join Mr. Kusal to present the prize? This award is awarded to 7 graduates from the Netcare Kyla Hospital. The award goes to a group of graduates achieving an overall result of 88%. Shalene Tuami, Melissa Gertsen, Ayandiswa Pony, Diovia Williams, Galima Abrahams, Roxanne Mayer, and Kim Smith. Please join us on stage. Management, please will you accept the award on behalf of our graduates? Congratulations. Thank you, Mr. Kusal. You may be seated. We will now award certificates for the Netcare Executive Leadership Development Program. These certificates are bestowed upon students who successfully completed the Netcare Executive Leadership Development Program. The certificate course in Health Services Leadership and Management, presented in conjunction with enterprises at the University of Pretoria, aims to build the foundation of competence across the spectrum of abilities and characteristics such as critical analysis, problem solving, strategic thinking, and teamwork. The program was customized to foster managerial and leadership competencies required to deliver the best and safest person-centered health at Netcare. The certificate course comprised of 5 modules. Each module was anchored by 3 days of engaged classroom learning, preceded by online learning, and followed by a workplace-based assignment tailored to enable application of new knowledge back into the workplace. The learning methods were designed to encourage engagement through critical review of literature, case studies, problem-solving vignettes, task-based exercises, peer learning, and self-assessments. Each module concluded with a question and answer session with Netcare executives to critically delve into the application of the theoretical foundation to the Netcare context and core strategy. I now call upon Mr. Sanjay Kusal, Head People Development and Employment Equity, as well as Mr. Werner Den Hartog, Specialist People Development and Employment Equity, to award the certificates for the Netcare Executive Leadership Development Program. Mr. Kusal and Mr. Den Hartog, please can I request you remain on stage until all the prizes have been awarded. The first award goes to Alfonso John Aspelung from Netcare Head Office. Congratulations, Alfonso. You may be seated. The next award goes to Matlodi Ntabatse Makena from Netcare Head Office. Congratulations, Matlodi. You may be seated. The next award goes to Boitamelo Amanda Salome from the Primary Care Division. Congratulations, Boitamelo. The next award goes to Mpepua Mary Monyane from Primary Care Division. Congratulations, Mpepua. The next award goes to Constance Majeke from the Netcare Pine Haven Hospital. Congratulations, Constance. You may be seated. The next award goes to Rion Johannes van Rensburg from the Netcare Kyla Hospital. Congratulations, Rion. The next award goes to Danielle Helene Fatar from the Netcare Green Acres Hospital. Please will management accept the award? Congratulations, Dalian. The next award goes to Julia Mojokolo Morare from the Kiso Division. Congratulations, Julia. The next award goes to Saloshini Naidu from Netcare Sunwood Park Hospital. Congratulations, Saloshini. Mr. Kusa and Mr. Den Hartog, you may be seated. Thank you. We will now award the Auxiliary Nurse Excellence Awards. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest and Western Cape campuses, bestowed upon the student who, in accordance with the South African Nursing Council Regulation 169, successfully completed the highest certificate in nursing, leading to registration as an auxiliary nurse, and obtained the highest overall clinical and theoretical mark for all formative and summative assessments obtained during the 1 year of education and training. The highest overall for the clinical and theoretical components for the formative and summative assessments in this program is a minimum of at least 75%. Eligible award winners are those who have not failed any, not even one, clinical or theoretical formative or summative assessment. I now call upon Ms. Menino to award the Auxiliary Nurse Excellence Award for the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest Campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of the Netcare Mill Park Hospital please join Ms. Menino to present the prize? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 83%. Kyra Luan Paulson. Congratulations, Kyra, management, and Ms. Menino. You may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Crawford to award the Auxiliary Nurse Excellence Award for the Netcare Education Western Cape Campus. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of UCT Private Academic Hospital please join Mrs. Crawford to present the award? This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 80.4%. Leanne Joseph. Congratulations, Leanne, management, and Mrs. Crawford. You may be seated. We will now award the Netcare Education Campus Managers Award. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Gauteng Northeast, Gauteng Southwest, KwaZulu-Natal, and Western Cape campuses. Bestowed upon a student employed by Netcare or placed in a Netcare hospital for work-integrated learning who best epitomizes the Netcare core values both within the hospital and the campus environment. Candidates are nominated and nominations supported with motivations by the Netcare nursing services and/or Netcare education staff. The campus management team considers all motivations and selects the most appropriate candidate for the award. I now call upon Mrs. Schaefer to award the Netcare Education Campus Managers Award for the Netcare Education Gauteng Northeast Campus. And she will tell us a few words as to why she has bestowed this award upon the graduate.
Good afternoon, everybody. He started Pen 1 in 2015, progressed to BC2 in the worst time possible, 2020. Soon after commencement, he demonstrated leadership qualities. He was one of the first to offer to take on tasks. He was enthusiastic about his studies and his fellow students. His dream was to make a difference in this world. He formed part of our first student intentional leadership development group. During this time, it was noticeable how quickly he developed relationships with others, how he influenced others, and how he cared for his fellow students. He had many problems to overcome, many challenges to master, and many obstacles in his way to becoming the best person that he is today. Throughout his journey, he always demonstrated dignity, care, compassion, and respect. I remember how awestruck he was when our CEO, Mr. Friedland, took time out of his day to speak to the students on the leadership program. He also served loyally on the SRC throughout the last 2 years of his studies. We are very proud to announce the winner of the 2022 Gauteng Northeast Campus Managers Award for the student who displayed the Netcare values and who lived the Netcare way right up to today. Unfortunately, he still has to learn how to be on time. Ladies and gentlemen, would the management of Netcare Pretoria East Hospital please come forward?
This award goes to graduate Ramotsa Toka Joseph Mushweshwe. Congratulations, Toka, management, and Mrs. Schaefer. You may be seated. I now call upon Ms. Menino to award the Netcare Education Campus Managers Award for the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest Campus, and to please say a few words as to why this award was bestowed.
Thank you very much. Today is an honor for me to award this Campus Managers Award to a very special graduate. Now, let me first say, all graduates at GSW deserve this award. It was so ironic when Miss Mandy Topkin said, all the nurses need to do is see. Well, I'm going to tell you who was able to see. This graduate epitomizes all the Netcare values, not only at the hospital, but at the campus too. And I went searching for things that I thought pop up on social media. You know, if anybody knows me, you're on Facebook by now. And so I went and I searched, but I found a very special message that was actually written and published in the South African Union of Jewish Students Community. And please allow me to read extracts from what this graduate said, as I believe then you will understand why she was the ideal candidate for this special prize. I'm quoting, "Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire," by Jennifer Lee. I am a final year nursing student who chose this incredible profession because I could simply not see myself doing anything else. Although looking back on the day I made the decision, maybe I was a bit crazy. A philosopher once said, "Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life." This student says, "I was privileged enough to have been taught this invaluable lesson long before I chose a career in nursing." Dr. Friedland mentioned how important our families are. Doctor, I'm going to show you how important her grandfather was to her. She wrote, "My late grandfather was a doctor for 55 years, proudly operating his own non-European practice in Germiston. My dear Ziada was a GP, but not just any GP. He had a heart of pure gold. He never turned away a single patient, even if it was at his own cost." So why I'm telling you this? Because the care my grandfather showed towards his patients is what continues to inspire me through these dark times and tiring times. On the 5th of March 2020, the first case of COVID-19 was detected in South Africa. This graduate was brave. She nursed her first COVID-19 patient in March 2020. And she wrote, "During this first encounter, I was scared, anxious, and totally unsure of how I would nurse someone being covered from head to toe in PPE, personal protective equipment, for a whole 12 hours and maybe get a break in between. Surely part of human interaction is seeing a friendly face," Miss Mandy Topkin said we need to see, "or perhaps a smile that can calm you down and reassure you that everything will be okay." The student then wrote exactly 1 year and almost 5 months later. Those feelings are still there, yet with a better understanding of what I am dealing with. The fact is, this awful virus, which spreads like wildfire, has now become our everyday lives. This is our new norm. You go out to the shops, you walk in the streets, you visit your family, and all you see are eyes. This is the entire world's new norm and our reality as healthcare practitioners. On the 20th of January 2021, this graduate wrote on social media, "It's hard being dressed for so many hours. The sweat, the heat is beyond unbearable. But students, remember, there are patients, and all they see are your eyes. So nurse them the best you can. Look at them with love and compassion. These people are our patients. They're our family. Can't we see them? They are scared. They've got emotions. Be there for them. Don't take away what belongs to them, compassion and care." She further states that a nurse has an obligation to make sure that the patient is never harmed and is always protected. I have learned through personal experience that the role of a nurse is very sensitive, consistent, and an important part of a patient's journey, be it good or bad. But what she said that stood out for me was, generally, when somebody is hospitalized, they are in their most vulnerable state. They are scared. With COVID-19, I have seen the vulnerability of those patients that are truly alone. In their condition allows me, they let me communicate with them and their loved ones. I got the opportunity to do video calls to families. I got the opportunity to be but that nurse, to see, to look at patients who deserve my compassion and care. I can say a whole lot more about this graduate, but I'm going to get to an end. We see life and death, miracles and misfortunes. We see love and heartbreak. We relieve suffering, we heal and care, and we care unconditionally. We hold hands with strangers, and we wipe away their tears. We laugh in the face of adversity and cry behind closed doors. We are there from the first breaths of life to the last. We are nurses. However, it is important for me to mention that it is not all doom and gloom. I am privileged that I get to nurse patients in Netcare from all walks of life, no matter what race, religion, or age. Every individual is a human being who deserves the very best care. Amongst all the hardships during this pandemic, I am so fortunate that I get to witness the miracles of life. I get to see those patients leave the hospitals with a whole beautiful life ahead of them. She ended off by saying, "I am a proud religious Jew. I feel blessed and honored to be part of this incredible community." So this was a small glimpse as to why this graduate will receive the Campus Managers Award, full of compassion, care, dignity, truth, that she lives by and inspires every day. And as she comes to the stage, she's not wearing a mask today, but look at her eyes. She always smiles through her eyes.
Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Mill Park Hospital please join Ms. Manino to present the prize? This award goes to graduate Tali Joy Nathan. Congratulations, Tali, management, and Ms. Manino. You may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Theron to award the Netcare Education Campus Managers Award for the Netcare Education KwaZulu-Natal campus, and to please say a few words about why this award was bestowed upon this graduate.
The KZN Campus Managers Award this year was very difficult to adjudicate. We've had so many students battle as they were baffled and battered by COVID. But they survived. Students stood up, students held their heads high, they put their fears in their pockets and presented brave faces. One student in particular stood up on both ends. This student excelled in the classroom, not necessarily from shooting the lights out with her marks, but from her leadership capability, from her ability to see other students, to see the fear in other students' eyes, to see students battle and to stretch out her hand, to say, we are going to do this together. And when we got feedback from the hospitals, feedback from one particular hospital really stood out, because we knew that this was a leader. We knew her in the class as a leader. We knew her as someone who always tried to assist fellow students in the class, students who were going through emotional turmoil, students who weren't doing so well academically. But this student stood out in the hospitals for saying, come, we can't fail our patients. And when a HBAS says to you, this is a leader, and we need to find a way of supporting this leader through hard times to provide opportunity that this leader can excel, then you know you truly are dealing with a leader. The passion that this particular student showed in the classroom always was really mind-boggling. When we called her in, she was also on our SRC. She led the SRC. She was our last SRC chairperson because, as you know, the KZN campus hasn't started the new programs yet. So we still have had the old leadership, the student leadership from the bridging program. But when we called her in to say a few words, to say goodbye to the last formal bridging program, as we handed out their certificates, the passion that we saw in her, the passion that said, we might have come to the end of the bridging program, and it looks a little confused and a little dark for us as we go forward, but we cannot let our dreams die. We've got to push forward. Then I knew we really, really, truly have a leader. And this year, that for me was the difference between average, a little more than average, and exceptional. And that is the exceptional student that we acknowledged this year, and we chose to allocate the Campus Manager Award to.
Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare St. Augustine's Hospital please join Mrs. Theron to present the prize? This award goes to graduate Saraswati Naidu. Congratulations, Saraswati. You may be seated. I now call upon Mrs. Crawford to award the Netcare Education Campus Managers Award for the Netcare Education Western Cape Campus, and to please say a few words about why this award was bestowed upon the graduate.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, graduates, and thank you very much for the opportunity to share with you why this graduate is a deserving receiver of this award. Firstly, we would like to congratulate the entire Bridging Course class of 2022. And that is now, I would like to specifically refer to the Western Cape students. They have preserved through school closures, training suspensions, and the COVID-19 pandemic. And we salute them all, and we celebrate this achievement as they continue to grow and develop in this nursing profession. This winner of the award started off her second year of bridging course after the closure of the previous nursing education institution where she was registered. And with her colleagues, they were thrown into the deep end, and when they arrived in the private sector, they had to deal with lots of new challenges, new people, new expectations, new hospital divisions, and a new nursing education institution as well in the middle of their journey. So this young lady took on the challenge and demonstrated resilience and the ability to adapt to a totally new environment in a very traumatic stage in her life. From the unit manager's performance appraisals, which I have looked at, she quickly became a go-to person for the unit managers. They could request her in the wards when they were short-staffed or needed a senior nurse to assist on the floor. And the feedback was always that she showed the willingness to step up and take control, direct, lead, teach her peers, and support other members of the nursing team. She understood that this meant being accountable, and she did that willingly. Her ability to see the bigger picture on how all actions impact patient care was seen by all and greatly appreciated by the unit managers as well as at the campus by the academic staff. She presented a gentle, kind, and firm leadership, which was embraced by the nursing staff on ward level as well as at the campus. One can say, and this is beautifully motivated by the hospital who collaborated with this motivation, that the Netcare values are embroidered in her DNA. I think that is beautifully said. The unit managers were so sorry to see her leave at the end of her training, as there were positions that they felt that she could fill in the hospital. So in many ways, we want to thank this award winner for living the values of Netcare at the hospital and at the campus, and we want to wish her success with the rest of her career. And from the classroom, the graduate was also described as always taking interest, answering questions, insightful, and a dedicated student. And then what I would like to share with you, and what the hospital also specifically shared in their motivation, is that we would also like to acknowledge this entire group at this specific hospital, who were placed at this specific hospital, when an additional life-changing traumatic experience by one of their colleagues who went missing last year occurred. The group of students who joined us from this nursing education institution had been together from the start of their training, and this was an immense impact on their lives. So they embraced each other through this traumatic experience by support, love, and care for each other. And their resilience enabled them to triumphant and honored their missing colleague, who is until today still not found. And they managed to stay focused on their program and complete it successfully. And through all of this, our award winner was the one that also supported her peers and managed to assist them to stay focused. So we applaud all as a team, and our award winner and her colleagues have proven that the beauty of care goes beyond caring for the patient, but also to each other as colleagues and as professionals.
Could a member from hospital and regional management of Netcare Christian Barnard Memorial Hospital please join Mrs. Crawford to present the prize? This award goes to graduate Zanele Mbengashe. I now call upon Mrs. Toy Vermaak, Faculty Manager of Nursing and Ancillary Healthcare, and Dr. Shannon Nell, Director of Nursing and Nursing Education, to award the Netcare Education Silver Medals. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Gauteng Northeast, Gauteng Southwest, KwaZulu-Natal, and Western Cape campuses. bestowed upon the student who, in accordance with the South African Nursing Council Regulation 683 as amended, successfully completed the course for enrolled nurses, leading to registration as a general nurse, and obtained the second highest overall clinical and theoretical mark for all formative and summative assessments obtained during the 2 years of training. The second highest overall average for the clinical and theoretical components for the formative and summative assessments in this 2-year course, where no extensions of training are allowed, a minimum of at least 70% is required. Eligible medal winners are those who have not failed any, not even one, clinical or theoretical, formative or summative assessment. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Jacaranda Hospital please join management and Mrs. Vermaak and Ms. Nell to present the prize? To a graduate from the Netcare Education Gauteng Northeast Campus. This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 78.5%, Lerato Sarah Manyaka. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Sunning Hill Hospital please join Mrs. Vermaak and Dr. Nell to present the prize to a graduate from the Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest Campus. This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 70%, Nondeduzo Spindile Princess Mshlanzi. Congratulations, Nduduzo and Sunning Hill Management. You may be seated. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare Albalito Hospital please join Mrs. Vermaak and Ms. Nell to present a graduate from the Netcare Education KwaZulu-Natal campus. This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 73.8%, Milicia Padiachi. Management, please accept the award on behalf of Milicia. Could a member from hospital and regional management of the Netcare N1 City Hospital please join Mrs. Vermaak and Ms. Nell to present the prize to a graduate from the Netcare Education Western Cape campus. This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 77%, Juanita Deviland Sant. Well done. Number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now award the Netcare Education Gold Medals. These awards are awarded to graduates from the Netcare Education Gauteng Northeast and Western Cape campuses, bestowed upon the student who, in accordance with the South African Nursing Council Regulation 683, as amended, successfully completed the course for enrolled nurses, leading to registration as a general nurse, and obtained the highest overall clinical and theoretical mark for all formative and summative assessments obtained during the 2 years of training. The highest overall average for the clinical and theoretical components for the formative and summative assessments in this course. No extensions of training for academic reasons are allowed. A minimum of at least 75% is required. Eligible award winners are those who have not failed any, not even one clinical or theoretical, formative or summative assessment. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Netcare, Unitas Hospital, please join Dr. Nell and Mrs. Vermaak to present the prize to a graduate from the Netcare Education Gauteng Northeast Campus. This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 83.5%. Gloria Chimele Ogbuagu. Congratulations, Gloria and Unitas Management. You may be seated. Could a member from Hospital and Regional Management of Melomeds, Mitchell's Plain Medical Center, please join Dr. Nell and Mrs. Vermaak to present the prize to a graduate from the Netcare Education Western Cape campus. This award goes to a graduate achieving an overall result of 78%. Ntutuzele Pilisande Sanku. Again. Congratulations, Ntutuzelo. Please will you remain on stage for me? Management, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move over to a very special event. Please, may I ask that all special prize recipients join me on stage with your lamps, which can be located under your chairs. Campus managers, please will you assist our special prize winners on the stage to support them with the lighting of the lamps. I now call on Dr. Nell and Mrs. Vermaak to do the lamp lighting ceremony for the newly qualified nurses.
Shannon, it's my privilege to hand these newly qualified registered nurses over to you today. Please accept them into the hospital division. These nurses have demonstrated the values and ethics required of the nursing profession. They are passionate about their new chosen career and have demonstrated the ability to maintain the dignity of their patients while caring for them. They have willingly participated in maintaining high standards of care and clinical governance and have learned that at all times to maintain the integrity and speak the truth. I have full confidence that they will keep the light of the nursing profession burning brightly.
Thank you, Toy. I gladly accept these newly qualified registered nurses into all of our hospitals. May they apply their knowledge with wisdom and caring, and at all times place their patients first.
Can I please ask that Mrs. Gerda Meyer, our academic head for Netcare Education, join us on stage to read the meaning of the lamp and lead us in the Nursing Pledge of Service.
The lamp in your hand is the symbol of those who keep vigil over the sick. It is the symbol of the philosophy of the nursing profession that those who nurse should be a light unto others. It indicates that you are prepared to develop your profession and to practice it in the light of the sciences, which are the building blocks of medical and nursing sciences. It confirms that you are prepared to carry out your professional acts in accordance with the legal and ethical codes of your profession, and that you are prepared to care for man in his uniqueness with knowledge and compassion. It is the symbol that indicates that you are prepared to be the following for those who need your help: the eyes of the blind who are sick, the power of movement for those who cannot move, the hands of those that do not have the strength to care for themselves, the comforter of those who are alone or grief, the nourisher of those who cannot eat, the protector of those who are helpless and those who are vulnerable, the mind of those who are unconscious, the one who has to ward off the hazards threatening the sick, the intermediary between the doctor, other members of the health team, and the patient, the advocate of those who have health problems. It confirms that you as a professional nurse are prepared to submit to the discipline of your profession. It serves as proof that you are prepared to serve as a role model for your profession. I give you the awakening call of nursing. Let the oil of knowledge and of love always ensure that your lamp burns brightly. Repeat after me. I solemnly pledge myself to the service of humanity.
I solemnly pledge myself to the service of humanity.
And will endeavor to practice my profession with conscience and with dignity. I will maintain by all the means in my power the honor and the noble traditions of my profession. The total health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will not permit considerations of religion, nationality, race or social standing,
I will not permit social standing
to intervene between my duty and my patient.
to intervene between my duty and my patient.
I will maintain the utmost respect for human life.
Utmost respect for human life.
I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor, Dr. Nell, Mrs. Vermaak, and the audience. Gradients, you may now be seated. This year, Netcare Education is awarding a Lifetime Achievement Award. On this note, I would like to direct your attention to a special video.
Dear Gerda, on behalf of Netcare, Netcare Nursing, and myself personally, from the bottom of my heart and with deep gratitude, I want to say a massive thank you to you. We have been so blessed to know you and to be able to work with you. I recall with sincere admiration the days when you were the unit manager of the surgical ICU at the then named Johannesburg Hospital, as well as that of being a lecturer and expert of the post-basic ICU program for Netcare. You would lead by simply being there as your expertise spoke for itself. You are able to transition to being the HOD and then the academic head for Netcare Education, and essentially showed everyone around you how to reinvent yourself in nursing. I certainly learned many lessons from you. You have been a tower of strength and support to those around you. Your willingness to share your expertise and benevolent leadership is immeasurable. Your contribution over 40 years has made a phenomenal difference to everyone you have touched. You epitomize the absolute best of our nursing education and nursing profession. We applaud your integrity and dedication. Your wisdom, knowledge, and care has for many years rippled through the nursing education and nursing fraternity and meant so much to so many students, as well as patients and their loved ones, other nurses, colleagues, and even into communities. Your very rich legacy that you have gifted us has taught us that values never retire. As this season of your life makes way for the next, we truly wish you well. May you continue to be blessed always. It is hard to say goodbye, but the good goes with something great and positive for you and your family in the future. I wish you a good life with countless smiles and much joy. We honor and salute you. Thank you, Gerda.
Gerda Meyer, I have to say something to you in honor of you, of your Lifetime Achievement Award. Today I really would like to tell everybody in Netcare and Netcare Education about the phenomenal woman that you are. I met you when I started at Netcare Education officially, but we knew each other from work in Mill Park before. You have been such an amazing inspiration to so many of our staff, our academic staff, and the other staff, campus managers, and our students, of course. You have been the advocate for nursing. Boy, can I tell that, Shannon. When we had to debate about anything that was right for nursing or not, Gerda was the one who stood up for the right way to do it, because we are the academic gatekeepers for nursing, and she has set the standard there. I know that we work very hard in Netcare Education to maintain the quality. We're obviously not where we want to be, but if we compare to others, We have set an amazing standard, and a lot of it is because of your guidance and leadership and the way that you look at education and how you understand the detail of it and the critical, analytical way you think about things. So, Gerda, today we celebrate a lifetime achievement of many, many years in nursing. Thank you. Thank you for the massive contribution. Thank you for your passion and your commitment. Never is a thing too much. The detail is always there. Speed and the work is just outstanding. I know that we've been through quite a hectic time with the undergraduate programs. It's been different and it's been a challenge, but we've done excellent work so far. So thank you for that. As an individual, I think that the two of us have been working in Netcare education and leading the Netcare education in many ways. I've relied so much on you and your knowledge and expertise. And yes, we've had our differences and we don't agree on everything, and I think that makes it even better because we can't always agree. It's important that one has to have your own opinion and need to stand up for what you believe is correct. So, you are an amazing person, Gerda. I really am so proud of the person you've become. From when I met you at the Netcare education the first time, you gave me such a run for my money, boy. Because I came from a nursing management position at Mill Park into education. And of course, that was just lovely for Gerda. And some of the others who've been there in Netcare or NTA in those days to rev me big time, because obviously I brought in a lot of different thinking and change. And I don't know that it was nice for me to rattle the cages always. Anyway, together on that journey, we've both grown and learned a lot. You've become the academic head. You've done your master's degree under severe stress and pressure, but you did an excellent job of it. And you become someone that we are so proud of. Thank you for everything that you've done. Words can never say thank you. Words are just a symbol and a token of our appreciation. But you know the deep, what can I say in English, footprints you have left for us in Netcare education. And I know you're not gone, but I want you to know that even when you retire next year, that Gerda Meyer will be part of Netcare education for many years to come. I salute you.
I am a brilliant ICU practitioner. I have the knowledge, skill and competency to provide my patient with the best possible outcome. I am an ICU student of Mrs. Gerda Meyer. Mrs. Gerda Meyer, I have the privilege of wishing you all of the best for your retirement, and more importantly, to thank you for the impact that you had on our careers. The question is, why do we want to do the ICU course? How will the academic portion of that impact on the way that I manage my patients? And that was the question when I entered the course in 1999. Mrs. Meyer totally changed the way I looked at patients and thought about ICU nursing. I fell in love with pathophysiology and the understanding that every intervention will have an impact. I never went in blindly to nurse my patients again. I understood that everything needs a thought process. You have to think about, what is this doing to preload and afterload for my patient? If I give this medication, what do I need to monitor in order to make sure that my patient will be stable? So I looked at my patients totally differently. I looked at medication differently. I want to ensure that I do the best possible monitoring on my patient to make sure that my patient don't deteriorate and that I can identify problems early. I think Mrs. Meyer's class was the only class that we ever prepared for. You were so afraid that she's going to get a smell that you actually didn't prepare. Because on that day, she will actually hunt you down. Every single question will come to you. And every answer that you give her, she would ask a question on top of that. And then later on, you're so confused, you actually don't know what you're talking about. Or sometimes you had such a brilliant argument, and then she would look at you, she would roll her eyes, and she would say, "Ach, Macy, even the bus driver knew that." I remember one night nursing a really sick cardiogenic shock patient, and it was chaos around us. And at some stage, I said to the doctor, "Please just keep quiet." And he looked at me and he said, "Why?" I said, "Because I need to think." And then afterwards, he said to me, "So where did you do your training?" I said, "With Mrs. Mayer." He said, no, I mean, what institution did you do your training with?" I said, "Mrs. Mayer." So Mrs. Mayer, you are the institution. You inspired us to learn more, think more, do more. And on this occasion, we as the ICU students want to thank you for what you taught us, but also made us really passionate about ICU nursing. And therefore, we trained additional people, and they trained other people. And therefore, the impact that you had on the ICU profession were massive. Okay, I don't think you can even imagine how many patients you've touched because we touched them. And therefore, they had a much better opportunity to have better outcomes. So, I know that you are quite old, but I didn't know that you knew Albert Einstein, because he wrote a quote after meeting you, which said, "Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think." And therefore, I thank you for teaching us how to use our brains. And I want to wish you, and all the students would want to wish you, the best for your retirement. May you have a wonderful, wonderful time with David and the family. And we love you, your ICU students. So we want to thank you for ensuring that we are using our brains, that we actually think when we are doing something to our patients. So from all the ICU students, we want to wish you the best for your retirement. May God bless you, and know that we all love you to bits, your ICU students.
A very good afternoon, Gerda, my dearest colleague. I've been asked to make this video especially for you. Gerda, what do I say? When do I say it? How do I say it? We have been colleagues for very many years, and then we became very good friends. We have been at Netcare for quite a number of years, my friend. We have seen Netcare Education Gauteng Southwest Campus get many coats of paint. And each time, you and I used to laugh and say, "Yes, we're still here. There goes another coat of paint." We've been through 4 to 5 campus managers. So you and I have a long story to tell. Besides that, Gerda, I appreciated your friendship. I appreciated you being so direct. Whenever I was in need, it was no need for you to be told. You knew it, and you just came to the fore. You gave me home truths, albeit that it hurt, but you gave it to me and I accepted it, and for that I have learned. I appreciate you so, so much. We don't see one another every day of our lives, but you do get SMSs from me, or shall I rather say WhatsApp messages from me all the time. It is very difficult to forget such a dynamic woman like you. Gerda, retirement is a wonderful thing, although I was very weary of going into retirement. Well, let's say that I'm now semi-retired. But my friend, you must enjoy it. You've worked very hard for it, and now you're going to pick the fruits of your labor. I wish you Godspeed. Remain the wonderful, genuine person that you are. I thank you for putting up with me for very many years. But if you can put up with me, Mrs. Mayer, Lord knows, you can put up with anything coming your way. God bless you, Gerda. Be strong. Stay the wonderful woman that I adore. Have a fantastic retirement. You deserve every minute of it. Love you, Mrs. Mayor, and I genuinely mean it. Bye.
Over all the years we have been together, though it's hard to go, these days can't last forever. So we're here to say goodbye, here for one last time. Before we step outside, there's a road ahead. It's calling us to new things, but we will not forget all the times we've had and everyone we've met. And this is our last memory, perhaps the greatest yet. Our farewell song. We are thankful for teachers who have guided. We are grateful for friends who stood beside us. So we're here to say goodbye, here for one last time. Before we step outside, there's a road ahead. It's calling us to new things, but we will not forget all the times we've had and everyone we've met. And this is our last memory, perhaps the greatest yet. Our farewell song. Our farewell song. Goodbye, my friend. It's not the end. I'll see you again, but now it's time to go. Goodbye, my friend. It's not the end. I'll see you again, but now it's time to go. Goodbye, my friend. It's not the end. I'll see you again, but now it's time to go. Goodbye, my friend. It's not the end. I'll see you again, but now it's time to go. Gonna step outside. There's a road ahead. It's calling us to new things. We will not forget all the times we've had and everyone we've met. And this is our last memory, perhaps the greatest yet. Our farewell song. Our farewell song. Goodbye, my friend. It's not the end. I see you again, but now it's time to go.
For once, you say next. I don't know how you're going to
just say, Gerda, just something small. I think the video has said it all to you. We honor you, we love you, and we appreciate everything you've done. Hard days, easy days, I think more hard days than anything else, but we've done it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. We love Gerda. Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Dr. Nell and Mrs. Vermaak. And congratulations, Mrs. Mayor. A very well-deserved recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, I now call upon Mr. Spiwe Shabangu, Program Manager at Netcare Education, Gauteng Northeast Campus, to do the campus acknowledgements and thank yous. But before I hand over to him, Netcare Education would like to thank him for his national coordination of the graduation. Thank you for your commitment and all the work done. And to Ms. Manino and Mr. Domel for the support in coordination of this special day. Mr. Shabangu.
Thank you. As with any event, the people who did the hard work are the invisible people who did their best every day to ensure that everything runs smoothly. I would like to mention the few of them: to the campus managers, program managers, the Faculty of Nursing Manager, Dr. Toy Vermaak. Thank you so much. Without you, it wouldn't have been a success. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Netcare Education, I wish to extend a sincere thank you to the following people: to Dr. Richard Frickland and the Board of Directors for your continued support and commitment towards training and education in Netcare. To Dr. Nqeba Zwaiba and the HR regional managers for your continued support. To Dr. Shannon Nell, Ms. Toy Vermaak, Ms. Mayor, thank you very much for your commitment and dedication towards education and training. To all our HODs, campus managers, hospital-based academic staff who were involved with our graduates, thank you. Thank you for your commitment. We will not have done it without you. We'd also like to extend our appreciation to the nursing managers, deputy nursing managers, HR managers, unit managers, and the nursing staff for their contribution to the graduates' education and training as well as development. We also wish to extend our appreciation to all the graduates' families, parents, partners, husbands, friends, wives, children, and family. Okay, during their time in training. To the choir and special greetings done, we thank you. To our MEC today, Ms. Jones, Janice, thank you very much. You have done a sterling job. Thank you to our Student Representative Council. We appreciate you. Thank you to our providers, UJ, Image Factor, Templar Industries, Crelay, for contributing to this success. A very special thank you to Ms. Cindy Menino and Stefan. I would like them to stand up so that everybody can see them. There's Stefan. Thank you for the arrangement that you made with UJ on behalf of Netcare Education. We appreciate you. And last but not least, to our graduates, congratulations. Thank you. May you seize the opportunity ahead of you, embrace the challenges in your careers with a positive attitude, and continue to learn and grow and develop as a nursing professional that will always keep the total health of your patients as your first consideration. On behalf of Netcare Education, we thank you. I would like now to call on Ms. Toy Vermaak to come and close the ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of this beautiful ceremony, and by the powers vested in me, I now declare the ceremony closed. May the audience please rise for the singing of the national anthem and remain standing while the procession leaves the auditorium. And then please join us there at the back as you leave. Thank you all for being here today. It's been a privilege. Thank you.